I thought this is interesting, and I think it might be something useful for you. I have thoughts on it, but this is a story that comes from backstage.com, and it's not necessarily a story. It's just a blog post from them. Backstage is one of the casting services that I use, excuse me, when it comes to shooting, getting gigs and whatnot for modeling and acting. But they have on here, and it's titled Real Talk, and that's real with double E, Real Talk. Here are the best times to post on Instagram. And this was just from a couple days ago, actually. Yeah. And when you scroll through, they talk about the best times to post and what they found for their particular account. Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sprout Social analyzed around 2.5 billion engagements from 600,000 profiles. And it makes sense that that's probably the better window to try to post your content, because it's right at the beginning of the workday, or it's at midday breaks like lunchtime. So when you think about it that way, you go to your 9-to-5 job. You clock in, if you have a clock or whatever. You get to your workstation, your desk or whatever, sit down. Hey, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. Cool. You don't get straight to work. Most people pick up their phone. They pick up their phone. They do one last look at, I don't care if it's TikTok, Instagram, whatever. They do one last look. Mm-hmm. Then they get to work. Then they go to lunchtime. Gather up all the troops. All right, hey, where we going for lunch? Mm-hmm. Everybody gets squared away. And as they walking out the door, they're looking at their phones. Mm-hmm. So all of that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I agree with them on that. My posting schedule to social media, as I've said here before, I don't necessarily spend a lot of time on social media anymore because they making so much money off of me and I'm not seeing a dime of it. But I still will post there to help promote what we are doing and other stuff that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And hopefully to get other people into the extended family community. Even if they just want to join for free, I want that community there inside of Patreon, So I will post fairly strategically. And somebody's camera turned off.
Mine did.
Yours turned off?
Yeah.
Okay, I can fix that. I will post fairly strategically, and it's automatic. I don't do this every single day. I literally every morning wake up a time and I schedule my stuff out, and then it just goes. And that's the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I don't do all of the replies and because I don't care, because that's just making other folks money. But it makes sense, and I could go through and look at my analytics, just as they mentioned here. Your mileage may vary as a creator or as an aspiring actor that's trying to grow their brand, or as an aspiring musician trying to grow their brand. You got to look at your analytics. I do it for YouTube. Mm-hmm. I look at the Instagram analytics. I briefly looked at the TikTok analytics. That was a little bit more testing kind of thing, because I don't really care to use TikTok like that. But figure out what it is. Figure out who your audience is. That's the one thing they ask. Who's your audience? I know my audience is a bunch of people that's roughly my age and white dudes. 95% of them. There's hardly any black dudes in the demographic. There's hardly any women, period, in the demographic. So if I'm putting things out there beyond this show, I have to think with that demographic in mind, because that's what they would be interested in, that kind of thing. And that's all they're saying here. Is just understand where you are, when to post, because I'm on the West Coast. So you'll see, if you looked at my social media feed, there's some things that are going out at 3 a.m. Mm-hmm. I'm not up at 3 a.m.
Right. Right.
But it's going out at 3 a.m. my time, 6 a.m. East Coast time. Why? It's when people wake up in the morning. What do?
They pick up their phone.
Pick up their phone. And take the phone into the bathroom with them too.
Yes.
So capitalize on that.
Yes.
So, you got thoughts on this?
No.
That would be no. Okay, thanks. I didn't want to hog the conversation, but I did want to share that though. I appreciate Backstage putting that information out there for anybody. Mm-hmm. Granted, I already knew most of this stuff and been practicing this stuff for years, and your mileage may vary.
I just got to figure out what to put out there.
And they talk about consistency too.
I know consistency, but you got to know. You got to have the audience and you do. No. That's where you're wrong. You don't have the audience yet, but your work builds audience. You know what I'm saying? All of these people that King Batch, you know that name? You don't? Okay, King Batch is a comedian. He opened for Joe Coy when we saw Joe Coy here in town. Mm-hmm. The black dude. Mm-hmm. That's King Batch. He started, he wanted to be a stand-up comedian and whatnot, writing little sketches for Vine. He's like the first viral person on Vine. He had no audience. Mm-hmm. None. Mm-hmm. But he consistently put out content. Then his audience grew. Mm-hmm. So you can't say I don't have an audience. You have to create your audience. Yes, I understand that. I don't know what to it's a constant battle of overthinking, trying to figure out what am I going to post to get an audience.
Well, the thing is, post you.
Yeah, I know post me, and I can post me, but post me what? Depending on what I post me doing, it could bring some scary people around. It could bring people I don't even care nothing about.
Yes, that is a risk, but what I've learned and what a lot of other people that specialize in social media and marketing and branding, nobody really cares about the polish. I care about polish. I hate if our video looks like crap. Mm-hmm. Hate it. I hate if our audio sounds like crap. Mm-hmm. I will do so much detail work that totally gets ignored because most people don't care. Mm-hmm. They don't care about polish. The ones that are thriving are all of those shitty, shaky videos of someone fussing and talking about this and holding the phone and the horrible audio, horrible video, but they strike a nerve one way or another with somebody. And then it goes on and on. Then they build their audience and things like that. So when I say post you, just you. Mm-hmm. People like everyday stuff. Mm-hmm. People like nosy. They want to be nosy. So that's all it is. You just got to post stuff. Now, they mentioned in that posting more consistently to Instagram makes a difference in the algorithm. I'm going to argue with you backstage because the CEO of Instagram said, no, that doesn't matter. It used to. Doesn't matter anymore. Because Instagram has their own ulterior motives as far as how they're funneling content out to people. Oh. It used to penalize you for not posting on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. But now, no, that don't matter. If you're posting your content and it's consistent content, not a consistent posting, but if you're constantly posting funny stuff, then yeah, they're going to push your stuff to people looking for funny stuff. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Not necessarily, did you post this week? How many times? Okay, you only did it once, so yeah, we'll come back. No, they don't even care about that no more. Yeah. They used to. Yeah. But that has changed. So anyway, thought I'd share that with y'all. Thank you, Backstage, for posting that out there.